Hi, I'm Mark. Welcome to my new video blog. Every week we're going to be doing something, either a lesson, a little bit about gear, music or guitar in general. This week we're actually going to be starting with guitar picks and how your right hand works on the instrument. So it's going to be something of a lesson, and then I'm also going to be going through a bunch of different guitar picks and letting you hear the differences with the same instrument, which is Telecaster Day, and the same amplifier, but a bunch of different sizes, thicknesses, and materials for picks. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is talk a little bit about how I hold the pick. This has been on some of the subscription lessons, the video lessons I do. That's been kind of one of the big questions. I try and make sure that when I'm holding the pick, I take my hand, let's back up a little bit here, bring the fingers up, and you'll see that there's one segment right here. I'll put the pick right on that and it'll fit into the crease or into the groove right there on the finger, and then I'll put my thumb on top. There should only be a little bit of that pick sticking out. If I have too much of it sticking out, it'll get caught and it'll move around and I'll lose track of where it's at. Also, if I have it sticking out, not a very good sound, not a lot of control. If I choke up on it, I have a lot of control over it, even when I'm strumming. I don't have to grab it very hard when I actually have this much of the pick under my fingers, because what happens is that it gets controlled. It's wedged here in the in that little crease on the first segment, and then my thumb just sits on top of it. So it just keeps it from going anywhere without me having to grip it too hard. So if I'm playing single notes, it's right there. If I'm strumming, I don't have to grip it hard at all. One of the big things about my right hand is I want the whole thing to be nice and relaxed and loose. If I've got death grip on it, I get all that, dragging and extra noise. It's almost like the wrist is kind of a shock absorber here for the pick. I can move from the wrist and I'm going to have a lot more accuracy than if I'm just moving from the elbow. If I do this, it's a lot harder to control. But if I move the whole thing together in a nice relaxed motion, I'm actually going to get a pretty nice sound. I'm actually going to be a lot more accurate and more consistent with the picking. And the same thing goes for the strumming. If I'll get a nice full sound out of the guitar. If I lock the wrist up, you just get all that planky stuff going on. So that's the first thing with this, is that we're actually going to be just, more than anything else, just picking from the wrist and the elbow together. But it's a nice, smoothly articulated movement there. And you don't want to hold, if you hold your pick like this, I've seen people try and do this all the time. That's hard to control. If you start doing things like holding your pick with the middle finger here, sticking the fingers out, feel it at your top of your wrist, you're actually going to feel everything kind of tighten up through there. That doesn't really help you pick cleanly and with a good sound. So that's kind of my thing. The anchor thing, I usually tell people don't start playing with an anchor, but the reality is, if I'm playing, I'll kind of reference the front of the guitar sometimes. If I'm, the strummy kind of thing, for the funkier stuff, I'll do that, but you see it moves. I'm kind of referencing the guitar, but I'm not stuck in one place, which really restricts your mobility. So that's the mechanics for your picking hand. You just want to make sure that you've got a nice, smooth, relaxed grip on that pick. You don't want too much of it sticking out. Right? And you don't want to be doing anything with the fingers or the hands that tightens anything in the forearm or keeps you actually from making any kind of movement. Alright, so single notes. You see how much of that comes from the wrist for me, and everybody picks a little bit differently, but to me that's been the best sounding, the most controlled place to pick from. Alright, and then even when I'm strumming, I can play through the guitar with a lot of velocity. Alright, pick comparisons. The first two picks, because I like using this Dunlop Jazz 3, but it's the Ultex, or the gold color. I also have a black one, which is the what they call the Stifo material. There's a red one I don't have a piece of, and that one actually is, I believe that's just nylon, and that's going to sound a bit different. But the Ultex is kind of my favorite, because it's smaller, it's easier to control, but I like the sound of it. So let's take the black one. Once again, it's Dunlop Jazz 3. Here it's a little spankier. Back to the Ultex. So I get a little bit more body on the note. Back to the black. There you go. Alright, so that's the Jazz 3. That's got a specific sound. The pick that most people end up playing with, at least in the beginning or for some part, it's our favorite Fender. It's the 351 medium. I've got the tortoise shell. I use this for a long time. I still hold it where I don't have too much of it sticking out. The sound's not too bad to me, but I get a little bit of plinkiness to it. For strumming, not too bad. One thing for me is that I don't really feel like I'm in control of where the point of the pick is. Okay, comparing back to my Ultex. Alright. People always ask, why don't you like thin picks? Alright, we've heard how all those sound. Here's the Fender, the 351 shape. It's the Fender thin version of the medium I just played. For playing any kind of single note stuff, to me, there's not a lot of control, a lot of flop. It's just not there. Here's the medium again. Same kind of pick, just the heavier pick. I got a little bit of control there. I kind of like that. One thing I used to kind of freak me out a little bit is if I've got the Fender medium, the tortoise shell. You know, it's celluloid, I believe, is the material it's made out of. Sounds one way. The California Clear version of it, which I've got a nice happy pink medium here, sounds a little bit differently. Alright, so that's California Clear. Here's the tortoise shell. Alright, same pick, same shape, both mediums, but pretty different sounds out of them. I've got a small batch of Tortex ones here. At one point in my life I was using these real heavy purple ones. This is the Dunlop Tortex 1.14 millimeter. I don't mind actually that one very much at all. Not really the best rhythm guitar sound to me. Alright, here's the green one, which is a .88, which is, I guess this would be in the neighborhood of a Fender Heavy, that would be that size. And then here's a .73, so the yellow Tortex, which is like a Fender medium. I actually feel like I've got a little bit more control over that. Now let me pull out the Fender medium tortoise shell. And then the PVC tortoise shell. You kind of hear a difference in each of them. I'm just playing the same licks at the same height. Alright, so that's not really anywhere near being a comprehensive shootout on picks, but it gives you the idea that, you know, a pick is kind of a personal thing. You know, it depends on the thickness that you want, the amount of control that you want, the sound that you want. Probably every couple of years I kind of go through and experiment and try some different stuff. The Dunlop Ultex is my current favorite. When I had gotten some pickups from BG Pickups last year, he had sent me a bunch of the V picks, which I really liked, but for me, you know, it's a $4 guitar pick, and I lose them. Yeah, I go through the picks very quickly because I'm always dropping them or forgetting them, and they're clear, so I was always losing them on stage. So just the fact that they were so expensive kind of put them out of my league. I like the Ultexes. You can even hear the differences between the same shape and thickness pick with the Dunlops or with the Fenders. So as you're choosing a pick, or if you're just getting started, try a bunch of stuff and see what you like the sound of. Really, it comes down to what works best for you.